Morning. It's just got light in the last half hour, which means that here in Spain it's about 8:30. It's freezing. It's quite cold. You can tell it's October now. It's nice. It's bright. It's very pleasant, but there's a bit of a nip in the air. I always like that time of the year in England as well. Usually happens about June. No. Usually happens about September. You start getting nice days, but it's a bit nippy in the morning. I anchored here outside the harbour last night. It's not too bad an anchorage. It's a little bit rolly, but we haven't budged. I've had the anchor alarm on. We haven't budged. We are just rolling a bit. I don't know. Yeah, we are rolling a bit. Enough to be noticeable, but not enough to stop you sleeping or anything like that. I'm glad I came in and anchored, right, because I've had time to think about this situation with the tropical storm / hurricane fucking Ophelia. As we have got predicted 0 winds for the next 2 days anyway, and that the trip to Vigo would be done entirely under the engine, 2 full whole days of motoring doesn't really fill me with enthusiasm. I'm looking at this harbour here, and the way it's got these really, as a lot of the Spanish harbours have, got these really very substantial moles built. That's all the way around, protecting from the north. And you've got this wall here, and then that's the entrance there. There's a bit of a hill. You've got the town. It's got some built up buildings behind it there, kind of protecting. And then you can see the masts there sticking up from the marina. I'm going to have a go. Oh, the kettle's boiling. At phoning up the marina. They'll fail to understand me. And then I'm going to go in there and pick up a mooring. Basically, I'm going to go in, try and go into this marina here and just wait it out. Sharp. Kettle has boiled. This is to see how early it is. I've literally just got up and put the kettle on. So yes, I'll go in there, and I'm going to wait it out in there. Now, it said on the internet last night when I got in that it's currently got 65 mile an hour winds. It needs to get 74 mile an hour winds to be graded as a hurricane. So which it should reach today. But then also, as it tracks north, it comes into cold water. As these storms get into cold water, they lose power. So I don't know how quickly it loses power. And the other thing is saying, I was watching the track on there's NOAA have got graphics display for the track of the hurricane, and it's come across towards Africa, and now it's coming northeast, and it kind of clips Portugal and Spain as on its way up, and kind of makes landfall proper over Ireland, actually. Okay, so that was very painless. So I've come into the marina at Muxia, and as usual, they're really quite friendly and useful. I spoke to the guy on the radio. My Spanish is basically appalling, appalling stroke non-existent. But he basically came down the pontoon and waved his arms around, so I just drove down to him. So that's quite good. That worked out quite well. The marina is half empty, more than half empty, mostly empty, I would say. But then the season is over. So I'm going to go up to the office now and see if I can arrange to stay here until after this bloody tropical storm stroke hurricane Ophelia has gone by. I was looking at this marina from the Anchorage, and it's got some high hills, and then there's some tall buildings landward, and then the walls look really big, and the pontoons are all on steel piles. So I'm thinking if it doesn't go over 100 miles an hour, this should suffice. This should do the trick. Anyway, this looks like, by the way, an absolutely stunningly beautiful place. Yet another stunningly beautiful place in Galicia. So if I am have a forced stop over here, hey ho, as I came in, I passed like a really weird turrety type building. It might be a hermitage. I think it might be a hermitage, apparently, according to the pilot book. So I might take a walk out there. Alright, I'm not sure if the sound's going to come out on this or not, because I'm a bit out of the wind, but it's actually turned out to be quite windy, contrary to the weather forecast as usual. However, I've just taken a walk around Muxia, and I've come up onto this promontory where they have a hermitage, I think. Check this coast out. This is why they call it the Coast de Mort, the coast of death. Doubting that the sound will come out on this. Yeah, no, I'm very much doubting the sound will come out because it's very windy. However, I'm just going to give you a 360 of the bay from the top of the hill.
The world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me. Meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. Step back to see the truth around you. From a distance you can tell. You and me.
Right, I've just taken a hike up to the hill that overlooks this town, and to see what I can see, because basically I've been sitting here today thinking, wondering whether this weather has passed us by, because at times it started to diminish a bit, went down to 10 knots, gusting up to 18. Now it's back up again to low 20s, gusting up to 30, low 30s. Anyway, I took a hike up to the hill that I was on the other day, and because this afternoon I was sitting here and it started, you can start to see clouds coming from this direction here, which is basically the southwest, which is where this storm is coming from. So I'm like, so I went up there to see what I could see, and effectively there are some clouds. They don't look excessively angry clouds, but they're not dark and, you know, not what you would expect. But over in that direction is just a bank of murkiness. I did film it a bit. It doesn't look that bad actually, except that on top of that hill, with no protection from anything, nothing between you and the weather, then it is blowing a good 50 knots. 50 knots, 50 miles an hour, 40 odd knots, easily. I think, and then gusting more than that, maybe 60. It's actually quite difficult to stand up, right? So I think we're getting half. We've got enough protection here to knock it in half here in the marina. So I am glad that I've put all the ropes on at this moment in time. I seem to have more than anyone else. I have not taken the sails down though, not sure, but I have wrapped a rope around the Genoa as best I can, as tight as I can as well. I'm not sure if what I've done is overkill, but it doesn't matter, does it? Those clouds look a little bit ominous to me. So let me just, I'll just run around. You won't be able to hear any sound because it'll just be the wind. So I'll just run around and show you the lights I've put up. So we're getting about 37 knots in the gusts, so it's about 27, 28, they're knocking up to about 37 in the gusts, so 35 to 37, and I think, touch wood and hope for the best, that that's about the limit of it. So in between now and 9 o'clock in the morning, this should be the worst bit of it. I don't know if you can see this, I'm going to try and show you, but there's been a ridge of cloud since this afternoon. I'm currently sat under clear sky, and then just over there, literally a few miles away, is the edge of the cloud from this weather system that's going by, and we're right on the edge of it. There's a bit of it over there. Basically the edge of the storm system.